Hello and good morning to everyone. It is Sunday, 10:38 a.m. It's Lillin, and I will continue the adventures of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, episode 4, apparently. But yeah, wait, let me check. Ah, tweeted. Okay, got to do that. This one's okay, that one's done, that one's done. This one's okay. Okay. Ooh, hopefully this doesn't take too long. Hopefully 2 hours or less. Ideally, more than 2 hours. It's kind of exhausting on my mental stamina. But yeah.
Hello.
Oh. Hello. Oh. Oh, yes, turn. Oh wait, this thing is slow.
How are you today?
Oh, I'm good. I just woke up too. Every day is always morning stream, possibly. It's good. Nice weather today. It's like summer. It was cold 3 days ago, so I don't know what's going on. It was winter 3 days ago, now it's summer, and then it's a repeated cycle every time. Everyone else is having okay days. Hopefully internet's okay. I don't know. It's kind of iffy. Wait, I missed it. Oh wait, no, it's good. Oh. What? Awkward how they change homes to Shomes. When Japanese they say homes. What is copyright? Cool, I don't know how to voice this. Oh wait, does that mean Sherlock Holmes is gonna show up?
ブライアロードの歩道に倒れ伏した若い女性とその背に刺さった狂人。ガス灯の明かりが柔らかく切り取った奇怪な事件現場の情景。不可解な姿なき犯人の事件は薄い霧の中静かに幕を開けたのだった。
Oh. Does that mean we're after a killer? Oh wait, no wait, we're defense lawyers, so we're defending the killer.
I am living in trophies. I don't now feel summer or winter.
In trophies, not summer or winter. Wait, so what do you feel? It's not spring or autumn, right? Because those are the ideal ones, actually. 19th February, 9:47 a.m. 1 hour ago, almost. British Supreme Court, Lord Chief Justice's office. Oh, that guy who, what was it? What happened last time? I technically won a trial through terrible means, even though he was most likely guilty. Most likely guilty. And I won the trial. And because of that, I am allowed to stay in Britain to study law and stuff because Kazuma died and he's the actual one supposed to, and I'm replacing him. So I passed the, I studied 3 months to be a lawyer, so now I won my first trial, so now I'm officially a lawyer in terms of British law. Was what happened. And I guess I'm reporting. Yusato, did you sleep last night, Mr. Naruhodo? No, not at all. It was an enormous hotel, wasn't it? The rooms were so luxurious, I felt like we were staying in a palace. Oh, nice hotels back then, I guess. And with all the gas lights twinkling, it was brighter than day, even in the middle of the night. Modern society, yep. What about the enormous beds? After my time on the SS Berri, I wasn't going to waste a single inch of that space.
CE to meet you.
Was Adi? Okay. I was unsure. Nice to meet you too. Oh, yeah. I hope you know 8th grade Ace Attorney though. If not, then this might be spoiling stuff. So I don't know if you want to do that either. I spent the entire night rolling from one side of the mattress to the other. I want a giant bed. It's been a while. Oh yes, it really was a sort of night you can only dream of normally. Except when I learned that we owed £3 for the rooms. That dream quickly turned into a nightmare. Oh, we have to pay? Of course we do. Oops. Sorry about that. The building was so impressive and the entrance so inviting, I just wandered in without thinking. Oh. Oh. In a lodging house in Japan, that sum of money would put a roof over your head for a year. Oh, a whole year? What? I did try, but I'm afraid I couldn't help my tears when we were presented with the bill. You should have known that before you entered. I really am sorry. That's not something to say just sorry about. 1 year, man. 1 year. Well, never mind. We must find some sort of affordable lodging straight away, though. What about Kazuma's? Did they not get money for that? If we're not careful, our entire stipend will be used up in 10 days or less. London is a scary place. It's like a scam, kind of. Good morning to you at this early hour. I forgot his voice. Oh yes, yeah, well. Good morning to you, Lord Chief Justice. We have come to report on the outcome of the trial at the Old Bailey yesterday. Sotho-san is amazing. She doesn't bat an eyelid, even in the presence of the imposing Lord Strongheart. Yes, I believe you had a very comprehensive initiation into British courtroom practices. Oh, yes, it was very eye-opening. Thank you. In accordance with your instructions, Lord Strongheart, Mr. Naruhodo performed his duty to the end. We defended a criminal, but yeah. Yes, I've already been apprised of events. You conducted a remarkable defense, and we consider the test passed. Oh! No longer are you a student from the Empire of Japan. You may henceforth claim to be a fully fledged lawyer. Oh! The seagull. The seagulls? I look at seagulls in the background. My country is delighted to welcome young talent from such a remote eastern land. Oh, there's many flaws, man. Thank you very much. So, I'm a lawyer now. Nice. Now, in view of your new appointment, I have a fresh case in mind for you already. I'd like you to take it on at once. I trust that won't be a problem. Huh? Are you overworking us for like very low pay? Is that what this is? I'm being exploited. Another case? Already? Nothing trains a lawyer better than practical experience. I'm sure I don't sense dissatisfaction, do I? See? Taking advantage of us. It's just that yesterday's trial ended unusually. I haven't quite come to terms with it. What's to come to terms with? The man was cleared. What more were you hoping for? The truth? The truth? He fabricated the evidence. The culpability of the defendant has not at the present time been established by this court. Consequently, the jury will not be required to proffer judgment. Well, Lord Van Zeeks, it's been a pleasure, so it has. And as for you, my dear fellow Manson forever, I couldn't have asked for a better defense. I said you were guilty, but okay. I mean, I said you could possibly have been guilty.
What this game?
Oh, okay, we're starting from there? Okay, so this game is a series of games. This is the prologue? I don't know prologue, it's like a olden day one. So it's called Ace Attorney, and you're essentially just a defense lawyer, and you have to use you find evidence that supports your case, and you present them to the audience, and you try to win essentially an innocent verdict for your defendant. So it's like mystery plus puzzle. Puzzle solving? Mystery. No, just mystery. Yeah, I guess puzzle solving and logic, I guess. It's a fun game. Yeah, this is an original one. This is like back in old day British area. There's like a more modern one. I recommend that one first because I don't know, everyone always starts with that one. So I think it's the first one too. It's on sale on Switch, I think. Ace Attorney 1, 2, 3. I just can't help wondering if Mr. McGildet really was innocent. Also, mini text. Mr. Naruhodo!
Good morning.
Oh.
And happy Easter 07.
Oh, good morning, happy Easter. Oh, it's Easter today. Yeah, Easter doesn't exist here in Japan, so I forget now that I'm not on like a more Western calendar. More Western. Don't people have to like... Never mind. I'm not religious either, so I don't know much about that. But happy Easter everyone too. That celebrates it. All I know is Easter eggs. Funny Easter eggs. I used to do that when I was little. It's just that I never imagined to ascertain the truth, and then the trial ended. There was no truth. I know, right? Well, you needn't let it trouble you for a second longer. Sorry? What do you mean, Lord Strongheart? What? I mean, I guess so. In an actual trial, you don't go for truth, you go for... Huh? Magnus McGilded passed away immediately following the trial. What? Someone killed him. Someone has to have killed him. He had lots of money.
I kinda wondered,
Oh.
but honestly it oppos semi-secular at this point, at least where I live, kind of like Christmas.
Oh. Yeah, same for me too. I guess unless you're Catholic, maybe? I have a friend who's Catholic, and I guess she kind of celebrates. I actually don't know too much about it either. But yeah. What? Mr. McGilded is dead? Wait, we just won the trial for him and he died. Someone must have assassinated him. I have 19 minutes and 41 seconds until my next engagement. Time enough to talk. 19 minutes. About someone's death? You should try to take more time than that. Ah. His death. What happened? I don't understand. What happened? How can he be dead? After the trial concluded yesterday, there was a great commotion in the Old Bailey. As you'll presumably recall, an omnibus had been wheeled into the courtroom. I do remember that. Yeah? Yes, of course. Oh, wait a minute. I turned to my bed. Wait, okay. Yes, of course. That was the scene of the crime which Mr. McGill had been accused of. Precisely. Well, while the bailiff's attention was diverted by some other matter, omnibus went up in flames. I remember last time. Yeah, it went up in flames. And then someone was inside the omnibus. I think the guy went inside to check the omnibus. He was like, some inspector person was like, Mr. McGill, can you come over and look at the omnibus, whatever, for like last minute something or other. So it was him that died? And no one was touching the flames? I swear they could have opened the door. Like, they could have used a jacket to open the door and then like let him out, but no one did it. I'm like, what? Maybe that was actual murder then. I mean, no, obviously it was murder, but they didn't even do that, which means they let him die. No. How could such a thing have happened? That is being investigated as we speak, but already. The police have identified a corpse found inside the charred shell of the carriage as that of McGill.
He had volunteered to, but was called in earlier than expected. Suspicious circumstances indeed. 0.0.
I know, right? So there was like betrayal after betrayal. There's like maybe a double agent or something. Actually, wait. Oh, my bad. Click something. What happened? Wait! Why you do this? Wait, what happened? Let me change this. What? Let me fix it. What happened? You were transparent 3 seconds ago. Hmm? You were transparent 3 seconds ago. What happened to you? Huh?
LOL. Quote, ignore the cat behind
Yeah,
the
ignore that. I don't know what happened. It usually works. Huh. What? I clicked a button and then it became like weird. Wait, what? You are transparent though. What happened? What? What is this button? Oh wait, wait, I found it. It like turned off the transparency for some reason. Okay, I fixed it. I don't know what happened. That was weird. Okay. Darn, now you guys know there was a green screen behind me. Ugh, no! The illusion has failed! Anyway. What was I doing in the middle? Oh no, I don't think I was doing anything. Okay. Man must have slipped inside, yada yada, while the bailiff's attention was elsewhere.
I like the idea that the judge was waiting patiently for you the whole time.
Man, all of 19 minutes, right? The bailiff really needs to pay more attention. That bailiff, man. He was definitely paid off. And how could that have happened? That is also being investigated as we speak. Everyone's being paid off and bribed. Hush money, man. Thinking back now, immediately after the trial, Mr. McGilder did mention going back into the courtroom to look at the omnibus. I'm just gonna not voice this part because I already did. Good enough. Inspection of the omnibus? Not to my knowledge. I don't believe Scotland Yard had any intention of re-examining the carriage. Yeah, see, they called him in and then killed him. But then who was Mr. McGilder talking about? Never mind that now. The Yard is making a thorough investigation. This matter is no longer any concern of yours. Leave it to the police. Darn. The truth is concealed. But we're in a foreign country, so we can't do anything about that. Poor Mr. McGilder. Also, he had no power. British court. Yeah, British court is weird. I don't know if it was like that back then, but I should look that up. So, how did you find your first taste of our country's Supreme Court? Oh, well, I don't know. I mean, it was wow.
At least until it goes to trial, Odaga.
Trial. Ah. Mr. Netherhollow means that the whole experience was steeped in the solemnity of Great Britain's long history. It's really worlds apart from our own.
LOL very much be your concern.
LOL. Don't want it to be my trial. For sure. It's really worlds apart from our own judicial system in Japan, which is only a few short decades old. That also has such a way with words. And you seem to have a way of failing to find the right ones. Wait, how did you read my mind? The judicial system here is the most advanced in the world. Learn all you can. Wow, such narcissist. Is it egoistic? Is that the word? Most advanced in the world, is it? It was fortunate that your very first trial was a simple affair. That was simple. Simple? That was simple. See? Took the words out of my mouth. As I believe I mentioned yesterday morning, it was a trial you couldn't lose. Because it was rigged! That's why. I don't mean to be contrary, Lord Strongheart, but the case was anything but simple. The circumstances of the case were so incriminating I was stunned when I first heard of them. In fact, I'm still finding it hard to believe that we managed to get a favorable verdict. Is something funny? They're paid. Is he paid off too? No, my apologies. However, the fact is that you did receive the not guilty verdict you set out to achieve. And that can only be attributed to exceptional talent. Wouldn't you agree? But he just said it was simple. Pick one or stick.
I think the closest word might be quote patriotism, quote aka national pride.
Oh yeah, that's the word. That was the word. But yeah, he said the trial's simple, but he said if it's so simple, then you wouldn't need that much talent. So I'm like, pick one or the other. Well, I don't know about that. Well, never mind. You exceeded my expectations, I freely admit. That much at least is an undeniable truth. Which is precisely why I have prepared the new case for you that I mentioned before. Already, the day after, overworking me already. What's going on? What was he going to say before? New case. Hopefully it doesn't last too long. Could you perhaps give us some more details about the new case you mentioned? Don't tell me, it's a murder and the trial starts in 10 minutes? Don't worry, it's nothing so alarming or quite so urgent as your last assignment. Thank you. In fact, this case is completely different. Oh, I see. Did you just read my mind? Like Sasada-san? That is to say, no one has died. As yet. And the trial will not be today. There is plenty of time to research the case thoroughly. Thank you. Oh, that means it's the investigation part then. 23 hours, 43 minutes, and 19 seconds to be precise. Wow, in one day. Ha, so the trial's tomorrow then. Is everything alright? Oh, yes. I'm just a little confused, that's all. Yesterday's trial was... well, it's left me wondering if I'm really cut out for being a lawyer. Oh, Mr. Naruhodo. I don't know if I could face standing in that courtroom again after Mr. McGilbert's trial. Oh yes, I nearly forgot. There is one similarity with yesterday's case. I'm calling it, probably the girl is still there or something? One of the victims is like, or whatever, people is involved? Once again, there is currently no one to advocate for the defense. Oh, that one. Oh. Well, that's why I'm the one in charge. If the situation remains unchanged, the trial will start tomorrow with the defendant unrepresented. And if that happens, I need not remind you of the inevitable outcome, where he dies! The most terrible end awaits the defendant. The death penalty, for some reason. Yes, that's right. Here we go again. Morning, man. Very morning. Your time is up. You will have to excuse me. I will advise you to begin making preparations for tomorrow's trial. After all, the clock is ever ticking. There is now but 23 hours, 26 minutes, and 39 seconds until the court sits. Last time he mentioned 23 hours, he said there was plenty of time. Hello. And one more thing. Mr. Naruhodo. There's something I should like to ask you. Oh, what's that? Yesterday, you remarked upon something. About what? That you intend to see through the will of your late compatriot, Mr. Asogi. Oh yeah. I don't know what that will was again. I would be interested to hear what exactly you mean by that. Inside 34 seconds. What is this, like... elevator pitch? Oh, well, Kazuma used to always say, you see, that he wanted to learn about how the greatest justice system in the world works so he could change ours in Japan. And now that he's gone, I like to work towards that myself. And there's another thing. Oh! Another thing, continue. On the way here, on the same ship, he said something to me. There's something very important that I have to do. Something very important? And what exactly would that be? Stop talking! I have 34 seconds. He never had a chance to tell me. I suppose he would have done if he'd ever make it to the— You're out of time. Well, thank you for your enlightening discussion. Mr. Naruhodo, what's all this about? Oh yeah, I did not tell you. Mr. Sogi never once mentioned anything of the sort to me. I urge you both to focus your attentions on the matter at hand. You're the one who asked. Oh! I've taken liberty of summoning the police inspector in charge of the case. Thank you. He'll be able to apprise you of the details. How long has he been there? So, I wish you the best of luck and bid you farewell. Wait, too many voices. There's something very important that I have to do. Kazuma-sama. What did you mean? I wish I knew, but honestly, he never told me. Anyway, we'd better talk to the detective, don't you think? Yes, you're right. I hope I'm just imagining it, but I wouldn't say he looks pleased to see us at all. He just looks sad because— what is he holding? Fries? Are those fries? I mean, chips? Chips? Those chips? The chips! Can we trouble you? What should his voice be? I don't know, everyone's just deep voiced. What do you think? I see this last time. Lovely weather, isn't it? What's the weather got to do with anything? God, doesn't have a young Japanese upstart. Some frippery about the weather doesn't get every English gent eating out of her hand, you know? But Susato-san told me it was foolproof. Our present man, a very busy man. There's a crime scene to investigate, but I'm here having to give the likes of you a talking to.
Yes. Meet the most British man this side of the Queen.
Lol, British. Oh, I'm ever so sorry. Yeah, I was like eating chips. I never went to Britain though, so I don't know. Can you imagine what the other officers there might be saying? Haven't seen Gregson anywhere, have you? No, he's too busy with the bigwigs these days. And all because of some bumpkin who's here on a jaunt from a country I've never even heard of. You never been sound? That's a reputation. That's my reputation at the yard, going to tatters. Was he? The yard? There's no need to rip us apart as well. I don't believe we've been introduced. This is Mr. Yunosuke Naruhodo, a defense lawyer. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I'm Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant. What? He's ruining his chips, man. It's lovely weather we're having today, isn't it? She says with a glare. Oh, it's because it's a girl? Is that why? Hello. It is unseemly fine, I grant you. London winters don't see a lot of sunshine. Unbelievable! How did she pull that off? Also because she's polite too. So Mr. Hart has asked me to fill you in on the case. The name's Tobias Gregson. Inspector Gregson to you. I'm from Scotland Yard. Gregson? Inspector Gregson? What's the matter with Susato-san? What's going on with her? Does this detective's name mean something to her? Inspector, are you perhaps the Inspector Gregson? Wait, does she actually know him? Or is she just like making it up to like trying to like, what is it, butter him up? What is that the word? Like flatter him so that he's gonna help us. You're acting like you know this man, Miss Sato, but he's a London detective. Oh, I do know him. Very well, in fact. What? Very well? Yes, he features prominently in The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes.
To answer the quote, how did she pull that off quote with a lewd joke.
Lol, good thing you did. Wait, Adventures of Sherlock Holmes? Is he in there? I don't think I read the whole thing, actually. Oh, in that publication. What's it called again? Rance Magazine? That's right! Inspector Gregson and Mr. Holmes enjoy a wonderful friendly rivalry. Really? Oh wait, we're in this world where Sherlock Holmes exists and everyone in the book exists, right? Really? You rival the great Mr. Holmes? That's incredible. Oh, well, I don't know about that. Mr. Holmes isn't a professional like myself, of course, but he does come up with the goods from time to time. Mr. Holmes is equally complimentary about you, Inspector, isn't he?
Totally different character. Wink wink.
Totally different character in the English subtitles, it is. You've earned his highest praise. Gregson is the pick of a bad lot of all the Scotland Yarders. Those are his own words. That's his highest praise? Well, Mr. Holmes isn't particularly known for giving compliments, is he? That he is not, and thanks to that magazine, my name's known all over London town now. That's great, isn't it? I have to admit that to start with, I was a little, well, flattered by all the attention. Everyone wanted to shake my hand, and my reputation at the yard went through the roof. Well, that's wonderful. No, it is not. There's nothing more sinister than the man on the street. People are always looking at me now. They're whispering rumors about me under their breath, I'm sure. No one cares about you that much, I'm pretty sure. Rumors? Are you quite sure? He's changed since he started appearing in those stories. The fame's gone to his head, stuff like that. Gosh, do you really think people are saying such mean-spirited things about you? Like I said, they whisper, so I can't catch exactly what they're saying, but I know what folks are like. I'm sure that's what they're saying. As sure as eggs is eggs. And chips are chips, right? I get the feeling this detective could be very hard work. Oh dear. Perhaps the sunrise to fame does change people. Lois, she's saying the same thing? Okay, let's talk about the case already. So, about the case. that the Lord Chief Justice mentioned before. Nothing to tell, really. What? As far as we're concerned at the yard, it couldn't be simpler. Oh dear, that probably means it's terrible, isn't it? As far as we're concerned as lawyers, it couldn't be more complicated. I wish you were wrong about that, but I have a nasty feeling you're right. A young woman was walking along the pavement on Briar Road when she was stabbed from behind. Oh yeah, that thing from earlier. Fortunately, it wasn't fatal, but she's still laid up in hospital, unconscious. That's despicable! What sort of coward would attack the poor woman from behind? Yeah, attack from the front, man. I suppose you would have finished whoever it was off with a suicidal takedown, would you? That's neither here nor there, Mr. Naruhodo. Raise yourself to Yunosuke. You've angered her now. Oh, that's okay. Anyway, after something of a whirlwind investigation, the criminal was arrested. He barely had time for a cup of tea after the incident took place, to be honest. So, there must have been something left at the scene, right? That led you directly to the culprit. Yeah, that's why we have a trial, right? Or perhaps a reliable witness who recognized the person in question? Let me stop you right there. You're wasting your time on this one. Sorry, what? There's nothing you can do. There's no way to help the bloke now. Why ever not? Simple. The prosecutor that's been assigned to trial tomorrow is Lord Berri. Hey! What a coincidence. We won against him before. No! Sounds like you've heard of him then. Oh yes, we are very familiar with Lord Van Zieks. Believed to be the harbinger of death itself. The Reaper of the Bailey. We just go to the trial. Lord Berri Van Zieks. We faced in court only yesterday. May we see him again tomorrow? Mr. McGilda told us about him before the trial, didn't he? Oh, I'm just gonna... yeah, skip. When he stands for the prosecution, they call the accused his sacrificial lambs. Those a vampire. And every day he accused has been damned. Okay. This Reaper of the Bailey nickname. I suppose he's earned that because every defendant he advocates against is found guilty. Is that it? Oh, is it not? Did someone die? Well, if that's the case, we should inform you, Inspector. In yesterday's trial against Lord Van Zieks, Mr. Naruhodo secured a verdict of not guilty, not because of our abilities. Ha, and what a... Oh, well, I think... that means that even against the Reaper of the Bailey, it's not impossible to save the defendant. I'm telling you, he killed someone.
Loves wine and slapping his foot on the table.
Oh yeah, I don't remember the foot. Wait, do I remember the foot? I remember the wine though. No, you really don't have a clue, do you? What do you mean? He stuffed his chips into his pocket. That is so unsanitary and dirty. What happened to that block in the end? Eh? He's dead. Oh, that's a different issue. Even if he wins, he's dead. Magnus McGilden came a cropper in the omnibus when it went up in flames. Oops, rompers.
The foot is much rarer, I think.
Much rarer. So you can't really say you saved the defendant, can you? What are you saying? Look, if Van Zieks could get the dirt to stick on everyone, he'd be a miracle worker. But that's not how it goes. He doesn't work miracles. He works magic. Black magic. Oh, I took the chips back out. I'd have a good long think about that if I were you. Are we really supposed to believe that? No way, right? Why would he kill someone? Right, well, I filled you in as requested and I'm very nearly out of chips. So I'll be heading back to the crime scene now. We're still carrying out a few investigations there. It was Briar Road, you said, didn't you? Where the incident took place? That's correct, ma'am. And if you head over to the holding cells, you can meet the criminal himself. Oh, you've branded him a criminal already? That was fast. He's as good as. Shaking like a leaf in the cell he is. He'll give you a chuckle if nothing else.
Spawns never-ending fish and chips out of sheer British spirit.
I know, right? Were there fish in there? I don't use such ships, but he's inmate 53. Speak to the jailer and he'll show you the way. Inmate 53. Thank you. We're done here? So there's no helping anyone against the Reaper of the Bailey, they say. Is something troubling you, Mr. Nadhodo? To tell you the truth, when I recall the trial yesterday, I can't stop myself from shaking. The idea of facing the Reaper in court again is... Well, if you think it's too much for you, there's no shame in turning the case down. That takes courage too. Of course we're not going to. What if the man they've arrested is innocent?
Oh, I always assumed so, but could be wrong. We'll look closer next time.
Oh, I don't know. Is it always paired together? You could well imagine he would be shaking like a leaf in his cell, and I, for one, wouldn't find the sight of that funny. So, if I'm honest, I'm still reeling from the shock of yesterday's events myself, and I'm really not sure if I'll be able to help this man, whoever he is. But I like to try, so I think I'm going to make some inquiries. Will you help? Did you really think you had to ask? After all, I'm your judicial assistant. Thank you. So then, shall we? Shall we dance? Yes, let's go! Okay. Now that we're done with that, let's go. Oh, there's two things. Let's go here first. 19th February, Briar Road. Oh, it's snowing. Snowman. The omnibus looking thing. No, it's not. Church. So this is where it happened. Briar Road. Oh, look! Mr. Nadhodo! Oh. Look at that regulation metal helmet! It's unmistakable! Oh. Scotland Yard? The men of Scotland Yard are here!
Particular trial for various reasons.
Oh. I don't know what you're talking about, but I'll see. They're investigating as we speak. The snowman, though. That is their job, you know? They're police. But Mr. Nadhodo, to see one with my own eyes. They're often depicted in the adventures of Sherlock Holmes, but I never dreamt I'd ever come this close. To a real Bobby's helmet. What? What? The helmet? Oh, not the people? Of course! I have to try one on one day. Well, I hope your tatty dream comes true. Maybe that tat person from last time can make it for you. I don't see Inspector Gregson anywhere. Shall we see if we can sneak past and investigate the scene of the stabbing? Why should we sneak? I don't want to upset one of those bobbies and be butted out on the head by one of those metal helmets. My skull would crack in two, I'm sure. Oh no, an English bobby would never do such a thing. This is a land of gentlemen, you know. Okay, let's go. Huh? That's one of the officers from Scotland Yard. The police are making sure the crime scene is undisturbed. I have a feeling that if we wander too close, we'll be clapped in irons. What does that mean exactly? I think perhaps you're being a little overcautious. You've done nothing wrong, so we have no cause for concern. Oh no, I'm not getting caught out again. Twice is enough. Twice, oh yeah. Twice I found myself in handcuffs, despite not knowing a thing about what was going on. Yes, you've had some dreadful experiences. I'm sure it's that wide-eyed look of panic you're so prone to. It does you no favors at all. Man, that's insulting. Ugh. This patch of pavement must be where the incident occurred. Should I look at the pavement? Yes, it's a very wide, open space, isn't it? That's true. I can't see anywhere in Tech could have been hiding. Oi, what are you foreigners doing here? Ah. Oh, we're just investigating the scene, officer. Conspiring with that mustache fellow from Japan, are you? Mustache person from Japan? Who's mustache? Conspiring? Come here to destroy evidence, have you? Get out of here before I give you an... Go on. I have no idea what he's saying. Oh, is he hiding? He shoot us away like rats. Yes, we should give him a wide berth, I think. What a disappointing experience. Much for a land of gentlemen, right? What a delightful snowman. I didn't realize the English had a tradition of making snowmen as well. It looks a little creepy though. Oh, it has a scarf. Look. You need one if you're out in this freezing cold all the time.
Yeah,
I wish I had one.
probably hiding. Never heard it like that before.
Yeah, I don't know either too much. I'm afraid our budget is somewhat frozen at the moment too. We certainly can't afford a scarf. You can't afford a scarf? When you bought the hotel? Probably because they spent it on the hotel. Surely the snowman here wouldn't miss his. But the person who made the snowman certainly would. Yes, I know, you're right. Anyway, even if I borrowed it, it wouldn't do much to warm my neck, would it? It's covered in snow. The carriage. Oh, that's a Scotland Yard carriage! These vehicles like that to rush to crime scenes and cart away criminals. Oh, okay. You're very well informed, aren't you? It's long been a dream of mine to ride one of those through the streets of London. Well, just pick up a stone and throw it through one of the windows then. Commit a crime and you can go have your dream come true. But that would mean being arrested in order to ride it. Wouldn't it? Yes. Still, if it's the only way, what? Help me find a good stone. No, I wasn't serious. Huh? Oh. This way? Bike, that's dented. Oh, a British bicycle, look! Although the wheel is so misshapen, I'm sure it couldn't possibly be ridden anymore. Someone must have been doing some breakneck cycling. It seems bicycles have become extremely popular in London recently. There's even a movement to change women's dress to allow them to ride as well. You mean pants? The bicycle fad won't last. I don't see why anyone would want to ride something like that. Goodness, do you dislike bicycles? No, not at all. I mean, it's not that I dislike them exactly. It's just...
Don't oppose T, let your dreams be dreams. Get her a rock worthy of arrest.
Get her a rock. Really nice shiny rock. Shine sharp. It's just that any occupation that involves taking both your feet off firm ground seems reckless. Well, wait till he sees the planes later. If he ever sees it, I don't think he will. If you'd ever tried walking on stilts and fall into a river, I know you'd agree with me. We'll have to hire a bicycle sometime. You can sit behind me while I ride you around. That's a rather typical old brick building, isn't it? I'm sure it has a long and interesting history. Well, time certainly seems to have taken its toll on the place. It's crooked and sagging all over. In fact, it looks in decidedly worse shape than the other houses around here. Does it? It looks the same to me. We must find some cheap lodgings ourselves as soon as possible. Yes, you're right. Cheap, but ideally with reasonably level floors. Is it not level? I guess if you look at it slightly, it's kind of tilted. I don't know. Something here. Oh, look at the windows of that building there. Oh my god, I just realized the buildings too. Alright, the windows. There's no windows. It's bricked. Are you sure they're windows? Yes, but they're all filled in with bricks. Oh, you're right. I wonder why. Perhaps it's an empty property where nobody lives at the moment. Yeah, but you don't fill it in with windows unless you're hiding something. There's smoke coming from the chimneys, though. Does it? I cannot tell. Oh dear, everything still feels very foreign. There's so much we have to learn about this place. And we have our second trial already. There are piles of snow on the pavement here and there, but the road itself is covered in carriage tracks. They shovel the snowman. It seems carriages often travel down by a road. It soon disperses all the snow. I slipped over when I was walking down the pavement earlier. It seems like it would be far safer to walk on the road instead. I understand that. Sometimes that happens too. I don't walk on the sidewalk because it's slippery. Oh, but you're rather small, Mr. Nathodo, and dressed all in black. Our worried coachman might not see you and you could be flattened by horses. Nice. Well, thank you for the rather small concern. I think we're good. Good for now.
If it's explained in game, but there was supposedly a window tax in London or Britain at some point.
What? Oh, I guess they didn't mention it. Not yet. Let's go to the prisoner. Wait, I want to click something. Where's my mouse? My mouse died. No. Charging. Okay, what? Need to click something. Wait, something's updating on Steam. What? Weird. That was weird. Oh well. Okay, 19th February, local prison, cell 9. Okay. So these are the British prison cells. They look dreary and gloomy. Oh, they're ghastly. It feels just like a dungeon. It does! Wait. I guess back then they're dungeons, maybe. Yes, and having experienced it in Japan myself, I can assure you that our wooden cells feel a lot cozier than these cold stone walls. Oh, don't, Mr. Nutholder. You're making it seem worse. Because I experienced it. Apparently, our client is in this cell here, but it's so dark at the back there, I can't make him out. I wonder what he's like. Inmate 53, your legal representative is here to see you. Stop idling. Is idling? I don't know. At the back of the cell and show your face at once. Am I a cat as yet with no name? Calling me by number, it's utterly, unbelievably, unjustly unreasonable. I refuse to answer. Who is this? Who is this? I can't tell. Who is this? Mr. Nutholder, what? What do you think is going on here? What do you mean? I have no idea, but I wasn't just hearing things. Was I? Wait, are they a short person? That tirade of complaints was in Japanese. Oh, that part was in Japanese. Oh. What? Well, that's weird. There's a window.
Your client.
There's a window that opens. That's probably not automatic, but... Wait, excuse me. Shh! Quiet! Wait, try to figure out what his voice would be. I have no idea. Maybe high? Is that like a zip? They're all around, hiding. I know they are. They're watching, listening. Even now. I can sense it. Right, so... Would I ask you who exactly— There you are! You've got a person we haven't you. Don't try to hide it. You're a ghost. A ghost? This is just like, what? What is going on? We mean you no harm, prisoner-san. Are you Japanese, by any chance? Or is it in Japanese? This is beyond my wildest dreams!
He opposes very high-strung, wears his emotions on his sleeve.
Okay.
Take that as you will relieve face.
Okay. Forgive me for the outburst before, I'm so sorry. Let's go with that voice. Oh, it's fine. We're just a little surprised, that's all. Imagine it! It's been 12 long months since I left my hometown, and here I am, in a frightful fix in a foreign land. So, hearing the sweet, sentimental tones of a compatriot's voice here in this damp, dark hellhole was a most monumental, moving moment! What? What's going on with him? Who could have guessed that this new client Lord Strongheart assigned us would turn out to be a fellow Japanese? He was such a character, actually. Ah, what compassion my fellow countrymen show to dispatch a first-class lawyer all the way from Japan to defend a mere foreign student. Oh, you're a student too? Noble, nurturing, never failing, reborn! What's with him and ends? Let's stop that. A first-class lawyer? Yeah, Oh dear, I think there's been something of a misunderstanding here. I wonder, would you be so kind as to tell us what's happened? Why you've been detained as a suspect, for example. Well, criminal, technically. Yes, I can't, I will. Chan, stay silent and silent! I wonder what he says in Japanese. Oh well. I'm not quite sure I understand what he means, but he seems happy. He likes alliteration. Oh. Yes, he does. I just hope he actually has a good reason to be. Thank you for your cooperation. I'm a lawyer, as you said. My name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. And I am Naruhodo-san's judicial assistant. Susato Mikotoba. Are you speaking Japanese or English now? I am a visiting student sent here by our government. Notoriously named Natsume. Natsume Soseki. Oh my god. Isn't that the writer? The writer, man. The famous writer. Natsume Soseki-san? What an unusual name. Call me Soseki. Call me Soseki, please. I'm a poet, you see. A writer of haiku. It's something of a nom de plume. Well, I don't know what that means. A nom de plume? You mean an alias? Ah. That's right, Naruhodo-san. No. Don't be so prosaic. It's much more refined than that. And haiku? That really reminds me of home. Did I hear you say that you were a visiting student sent over here by the government? He doesn't look like a student though, but... Yes, that's right. A year ago, I was told to go and study English. First I had to suffer that misery, and now this.
Sadly,
it's beyond the pale.
Take my leave.
Oh.
Enjoy the investigation, and happy lawyering.
Yeah, thanks. I'll see how far I get to. Probably the whole thing of investigation. Thanks for joining. See you later. Suffer that misery? Did you not want to study here? No, I mean, I've had an interest in Great Britain for some years, of course. Oh. What? Oh. Wait, random speaker person outside. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but we'll see. Just because the government tells you to do something, doesn't mean that you can do it? No! What do you mean? That's annoying. I hate loudspeaker things outside the window. If they told me to study English literature, that I could have understood. That's my field. But no, they told me to study the English language. That's almost the same thing, but okay. Or at least he has no language for unbelievable, unjust, unreasonable. In the English language to understand the English literature, though. I see. Only the other day I was told to send a report about my first year here. I tendered a blank piece of paper. Wise words on white washi. Washi. You must be a man of great standing. Oh yes, so I'm often told. I often like to be told, it seems. The accusation against you, let's talk about that. Could you perhaps tell us exactly why you've been arrested, Soseki-san? I didn't do it. I didn't commit that atrocious murder. Murder? Did you not hear about the lady that was stabbed or whatever? Oh wait, she didn't die, oh yeah. Oh no, it's alright. The woman didn't actually die, did she? But she was stabbed with a knife right before my eyes. Oh, your eyes? You mean you saw the attacker? I didn't see anyone. What? If I'd seen a person who did it, do you think I'd be locked up in here? Oh dear, it seems this case is becoming rather complicated. Why me? Why me? Why did that silly woman have to be stabbed in front of me? It's the curse of London. It's incredibly, irritatingly inconvenient. So, Soseki-san was there at the scene, but he didn't see the attacker. It's vital that we find out more about the case. So what happened? It was an accursed evening, just after the snow had started to clear and heavy with fog. I'd been to the bookshop to buy some books, and I was on my way back to my cursed lodgings. Sure, the bookshop wasn't accursed too? As I was walking along that accursed pavement, I could make out the sole silhouette of another person ahead of me, a woman, wearing a green overcoat, she was, and just as I went to overtake her... Oh. She suddenly let a little scream and collapsed into the cold, hard slabs of stone at my feet. Oh. How terrible. I called out to the woman, but she didn't move. It was like a ghostly, ghoulish graveyard. Slight exaggeration there, perhaps? How did he not see the knife, though? I was terrified. I had to get away from there, so I ran as fast as my legs would carry me back to my accursed lodgings. That's not good. Why would you run? They'll say it was shameful, I know, to run away like that. It was. Tell me, Soseki-san, is the victim an acquaintance of yours? Don't be ridiculous. You think I know any of these fair-haired English and a young woman at that? I'm diffident, shy, timid, unsure. I can't talk to people. Introverted, I see. I see you. A young woman unknown to Soseki-san. And at that time it happened. Who else did you see nearby? Anybody pass you? He doesn't remember. Regrettably, apart from myself and the woman, I didn't see a soul. What? No one? Oh, great. So the victim was unknown to you, and there was nobody else on the street at the time. That creates something of a conundrum, doesn't it? It only could have been you that stabbed him. What conundrum? What? How did you not understand? What do you mean, Susato-san? What's a conundrum? Because no one else on the street, it only could have been you. Well, if what Soseki-san has just told us is true, there's something I can explain. He says that he didn't know the victim, and that there was no one else at the scene, and who stabbed her, and he apparently fled without having been seen. She could have not been dead, actually, and someone else stabbed her after. She just collapsed, and then someone stabbed her. I did. But if that's the case, surely this man has to be the culprit. What did you just say? Nothing. I didn't say anything. Oops, perhaps I thought that a little loudly. Actually, that's not what was troubling me. What I was thinking was, how did Soseki-san actually come to be arrested? Oh yeah, that too. If no one's there, no one saw him do it. Right. Sorry? He didn't touch the victim, and there was nobody at the scene to see him. So how did the police ever discover that he was there in the first place? Oh yes, she's right. Maybe he dropped something? It was him! That accursed great detective! He let the police to me! Of all the bad luck! Accursed great detective? Could it be? Sherlock Holmes? I shall never forget that man's name as long as I live. With his haughty laugh and self-proclaimed greatness. Rash, big-headed, busybody, be gone! Yep. May you be cursed until the end of your days. Sherlock Holmes. I knew it! Mr. Holmes? Wow. I knew that guy was gonna come back though. Well, I didn't expect to hear that name from this man's lips, that's for sure. Oh my god, the last speaker again. It was the morning after that nightmare had unfolded on the pavement before me. I was gnawing on a sliver of hard cheese when some men suddenly burst in through the door. They started shouting at me. This is the police, put the weapon down. What weapon? Yes, it was a thin sliver, and yes, it was hard, but I wasn't eating a weapon. Disgusting, dietary discrimination, devils. Ah. You clearly had a trying morning yesterday. And there he was, in the middle of all the policemen, grinning like a Cheshire cat. That Sherlock Holmes. It's actually just Sherlock, whatever. He's English. I don't know what they said in Japanese, we'll see. I've since found out he's a famous name in detection in London. Yes, the great detective's really very well known. And his overly sharp mind managed to deduce my whereabouts apparently. He thinks I'm a knife-wielding madman. Me, this weak, stooped kitten of a man. I wonder what great deduction process led him to this conclusion this time. Do you mean to say that Mr. Holmes' deduction was the only reason the police arrested you? That would be really most unreasonable. Well, the thing is, he dropped something. Did he? I was thrown into a panic when they barged their way in. Oh, he confessed. Of course you were. That's only natural. I was terrified and trembling, and they kept throwing question after question at me in impossible English. Fiendish, foreign, flammering. Ah. Well, we are in England. You can't really blame them for questioning you in English. Good point. But my mind went blank. I knew I had to answer, but I didn't know what to say. I just kept repeating things like, yes I do, and I'm fine. What? Oh my god, that's the worst thing ever. The next thing I knew, I was in manacles, and before I knew it, I was thrown in here. Oh dear, I'm afraid that's hardly surprising. Yep, should never try to say yes when you don't know the question. I'm fine? He's not fine now. Mr. Naruhodo, Esquire! Oh, you can just call me Naruhodo. And when we're speaking English, a simple Mr. is more than enough. Oh, yes, alright, yes. They've really got to me. This country is poisoning my mind. You know the ghosts and stuff? But please, I beg you to defend me in court tomorrow. And tell them what really happened. Well, I'm not first class lawyer though. You'll do it, won't you? Well, why? Why is it so hard to say yes to me? Well, the thing is, I'm just a student like yourself on a study tour. A student? I've defended a case in the Old Bailey, only the one though. But at this moment in time, I really don't know what I'm supposed to believe in. I'm confused about what justice in this country even means. Oh, Naruhodo-san. I'm not even the foreign student who was supposed to be here. I'm sort of locum lawyer, I suppose. What? But the armband! It's a mark of a defense lawyer from a great empire! It's a keepsake from the man who should have been here. I don't think you can put down your armband though. Or it'd be confusing. He was a best friend. A keepsake? Yep. I'm not a first-class lawyer. I know exactly what they're saying about me. Oh, what do you mean? The lawyers, all the British defense lawyers, they won't defend me. That's racial discrimination? Goodness, why do you say that? For the same reason as you noted before, when it happened. Oh, that too. There was only the victim and myself around, and I ran away from the scene of the crime. I'm not a fool. I know it looks as though I must be the culprit. It must be very hard for you, Soseki-san. And anyway, I'm a student from overseas. I'm just a foreign nobody to them, that is, see. Someone not to be trusted. I heard them openly laughing about me before, in my earshot, without any compunction at all. Any trial for this man would be a waste of time, they said, and of course, the foreigner did it. They even had the gall to say that the man doesn't understand half of what's being said anyway. It's awful. They're wrong. I've studied more English than half of the policemen out there on the streets. I've traveled halfway across the world to learn about these people's countries and its great history. But no one here wants to listen to a man with a strange accent. They all hate me. So, at the very least, I'd like to entrust my fate to someone who can listen to me in my native tongue. You could do it, couldn't you? When I look into your eyes, I can see it. I can see what you've been through, can you? But also, I'm literally your only hope because no one's defending you anyway. Why would I not say yes? He's gonna die if he doesn't. Soseki-san, it's just that... Give me a little time, please. I'll do what I can, for the time being. What do you mean? We shall investigate the case as thoroughly as possible. Oh, Mama-san. Good morning. If we can find some clues, it'll give us a much better chance, I'm sure. Oh, yes, thank you. I'll be here, all alone, waiting for you. Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. My name got longer. We should be going then, Naruhodo-san. We have a case to prepare for. Let's go. Back to the scene of the crime. Oh, he's here! Oh, that is the fish, probably. It looks so... The word fried, like you couldn't even tell it's a fish. I thought it was like chips, too. What's... Oh wait, what's his voice again? What's a Japanese delegation doing here? Oh, Inspector Gregson. This isn't on the tourist trail, as I'm fairly sure you're well aware. Yes, of course. We're here to investigate. So you've been to the holding cells then? What do you make of the criminal? He's not a criminal, as you put it, Inspector. He's a suspect. We'll see about that. You Japanese like to stick together, I suppose. In his pocket again. Well, do what you will. It doesn't bother me. The bloke's in court tomorrow, whatever happens. And the verdict's a foregone conclusion. Ugh, stone cold air rejection. Take heart. London at this time of year is full of stone cold air. Wow. Nice. That makes it worse somehow. Oh, my bad. Reverse. Tell me about Scotland Yard, Inspector. Ever since I read about it in The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, I've been fascinated by the place. The Yard is the most sophisticated policing organization you'll find anywhere in the world, ma'am. Oh, and you know I've always dreamed of wearing a real Bobby's helmet. It does make them look the part, seeing that policeman there with his helmet on. You certainly get the sense that this is a man who will take no nonsense in his duty of protecting the city, do you? Oh yes, doesn't he look wonderful? Be in London Bobby's heart going, I can tell you. Oh, really? First thing in the morning. You know what he does? Goes around and rouses all the laborers on his beat so they can get off to work. What? He wakes people up? Like in jail? What? On the roads? Yep. Raps on the windows with a long pole. Did it myself, going back a bit. Why would you do that? Wait, the regular people or like prison people? I had no idea. The Bobby works for the police of the town. It's just another one of his duties. Why would you wake people up? They can have their own alarm. What? I don't want to be woken up morning and Saturday morning at like 8 AM. After that, he starts tirelessly patrolling the streets all day long. He has to cover 20 miles a day. That's the regulation distance. Wow, that's difficult. When you're walking. I can't really imagine how far that is, but it sounds like a long way. Let me see. 20 miles, right? 20 times 1.6 kilometers per mile, so... Yeah, 1.6, right? So 32 kilometers? Miles. That's approximately the distance from Tokyo to Yokohama. Was it called Tokyo back then already? Was it not Edosu? On foot? That's definitely taking things a step too far. And when it gets dark, of course, he has the important job of lighting all the gas street lamps. Is that police duty? Oh my. And I suppose in between all those duties, Bobbies are expected to investigate cases as well? And chase after criminals trying to evade the law. I'm not sure you could call it in between exactly. More alongside, but yes. You're expected to handle this job as well. We do have men healing over from time to time, I admit. Well, it sucks. I'd always dreamt of wearing one of those helmets, as I said. But it's with a heavy heart, and I shall have to relinquish that dream to you, Mr. Naruto. What? To me? Your heavy heart will be my heavy head if you do. About the case. It happened around 5 in the evening 2 days ago, just there, on that open bit of pavement. The victim, a young woman, was stabbed with a blade from behind. Is it right the lady is still unconscious now? You mentioned that she's being treated in the hospital. I never said she was a blade. What? The truth is, unless she comes around pretty smartish, we won't be able to find out much about her at all. What do you mean? I suppose that means they haven't been able to take a statement from her, of course. Oh, okay. His pocket again. This map of the local area I happen to have on me. You can take it if you want. Really? Are you sure? It's copyright. It's yard policy to give lawyers defending suspects the odd bit of information to go on. You should give us all the information. I haven't actually accepted the job yet, but still. Ah. Thank you, Inspector. We gratefully accept. Still sleepy. Welcome, Amp. Anyway, as far as we know, there was no one else on the scene other than the victim and your fellow countryman. So who did it, do you think? How much of a head scratcher is it? Well, I know Mr. Natsume is also claiming not to have seen anyone else around, but just because he didn't see anyone, it doesn't mean we can be sure that nobody else was present. I'm sorry to have to tell you, but we most certainly can be sure. Why? How? Because, ma'am, the precise moment of stabbing didn't go unnoticed. What? It what? You're two very reliable witnesses, no less. It's a typical foggy London day, and your client obviously didn't see them. There are witnesses now? Oh, no wonder they found him then. Who are these witnesses, Inspector? Lillin is the wife, and the man's one of the most reliable and respected citizens in all London. You mean Sherlock Holmes? He's a copper from Scotland Yard. Oh, never mind. A policeman? That might change things. Oh, he has credibility, I guess. Kind of. And this policeman just happened to be there at the exact moment the woman was attacked? Nothing peculiar about that, man. Part and parcel of being a Bobby. Catching them banging the act and all that. Do you think it might be possible for us to ask that policeman a few questions? My guest, you can ask him what you like. In court tomorrow. Oh. I have no doubt he'll be summoned as a witness. So that'll give you something to look forward to. That's that then. He's got no intention of letting us meet the man beforehand, it seems. Policeman, witness the incident. As your judicial assistant, I must warn you that this could make our job very difficult indeed. Yeah, you'd think. Yes, as a non-judicial assistant, I could have warned me of that too. He's funny. You know it's funny. Oh yes, one more thing, Inspector. What? The person who led you to the suspect. I hear that was Mr. Sherlock Holmes. What do you bring him up for? Was it something I said? What? The color has drained from his cheeks. Did it? It looks no different. Who did you hear that name from? Oh, well, it was Mr. Natsume who mentioned it. He said that Mr. Holmes was with the police when they entered his lodgings. I'm sure it was a result of one of Mr. Holmes' inspirational great deductions. Why would he say this in front of his rival? But okay. Bit of battle. The man's an amateur, and I'm getting sick and tired of him showing his mug everywhere. Oh, I mean, he was wrong about a lot of things, actually. I don't know where he gets his information from, but he turns up at the scene of the crime, wanders around spouting incomprehensible rubbish, and before you know it, he claims to have solved the case. Yes, he's quite astounding, isn't he? He's a great help to Scotland Yard, though, isn't he? Ever seen this before? Oh, yes, that's Rance magazine. A wonderful publication in which the adventures of Sherlock Holmes appears. Yes, well, that wonderful publication, as you put it, sees fit to include several of the Yard detectives in his stories. And the so-called great detective makes a mockery of all of us. If you ask anyone at the Yard, it's a misadventure to be included in any Sherlock Holmes tale at all. Well, I suppose there is an element of that. We work our socks off, every one of us, only to be trumped by the public thanks to an obnoxious detective. A man as dangerous to us at Scotland Yard as he is to all our criminals. That can't really be true, can it, Inspector? Wait, that means that you might have caught the wrong person then. If you're following the guy. Clearly the great detective and the police have a complex relationship. Tomorrow's trial. That twitchy Japanese bloke goes on trial tomorrow. Are you going to defend him or not? Well, makes no difference to me, but I will just say this. No London lawyer worth his salt would touch that case with a barge pole. Because the prosecution's being handled by the Reaper of the Bailey, you mean? There's no way to save that man now. It's a waste of time trying. It's all a bit strange, though. Sorry? What? The Reaper. He hasn't appeared in court once for a good few years now. Oh, yes. We did hear something to that effect. And the only people... Oh, oops, wrong person. And the only people I usually ball this with are the real scum, the master criminals, the violent ones. That sounds good, actually, then. It sounds like he's doing stuff for justice, actually. Kind of. Master criminals? The violent ones? That's right. He handpicks his victims. Only deals with those guaranteed to go to the gallows for their sins. But Mr. Natsume wouldn't hang for what he's accused of, surely? That's just my point, Sunshine. Yes, the young woman was stabbed, but it didn't kill her. Couldn't say that the intent was there. Ew, his pockets of so many oil, ew. So this isn't the sort of case I'd be expecting the Reaper to want to sink his teeth into, for want of a better phrase. Well, it's not exactly a minor infraction, is it? No, there's got to be more to it. For some reason he's taking an interest. Maybe some deeper thing into it. Really? What sort of reason, Inspector? Although I don't think it's because the defendant. Just because the suspect is guilty, though. You think I can tell what's going on inside the head of that Lord of Darkness? Like Voldemort or Dracula. You have to ask him yourself at tomorrow's trial. Are we really going to have to face the Reaper again? Lord of Darkness, as he put it? Is this over soon? Well, I don't think we're going to get any more useful information out of the detective. Mr. Naruto, can I make a suggestion? Oh, yes. What is it? Well, it seems to me that we must speak with him about this. What? Who? By him, do you mean Mr. Holmes? Oh, today? Yes, Mr. Holmes. Sherlock Holmes, exactly. Look at those shining eyes. You can't wait, can you? Well, Mr. Natsume did blame Mr. Holmes for all this, didn't he? Yes, he did. He really did. Which makes him an involved party in the case. Are you going to ignore that? I hope not. I assure you, it's not simply my selfish desire to meet with Mr. Holmes again. That's definitely it. The trouble is, we have no idea of the man's address even. So how— It's Baker Street! Oh, it's written in the book. How do you know that? It's in the stories, of course. 221B Baker Street, the most famous address in the world. You'd think he would not put his real address in there if he actually wrote the book. Oh, I see. Well, there's nothing to stop us from going, I suppose. We better try to find a way there before Susato-san gets any more excited and unpredictable. Hurrah! I'll summon the carriage! Oh, we're to have a reunion already. Oh my god, it's gonna be annoying. With the great detective, Mr. Sherlock Holmes. And here I thought we would be done. Oh! Oh! It's Baker Street. The animation.
ありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。
2階でございます。それでは。どうも。
I want to ride on one of those horse-pull carriage still one day.
ホームズさんの事務所なのですね。
Looks a lot more nice and flowery than I expected. Oh man, what the heck? He looks rich somehow. 19th February, 12:53 p.m. Home suite. So this is where the great detective makes his living. Feels surreal to be here somehow. That knife in the board though. Oh my god. What is binoculars going to magnifying glass? What? Is it as described in the stories, Mrs. Sato? It'd be amazing, isn't it? She's gonna be like shocked. Susato-san? Susato-san? Many famous cases have been solved here in this very room. Oh, I suppose they must have been, yes. I've never read the story, so it's hard to get quite as excited about it as she seems to be. The detective chases a villain relentlessly as he disappears into the fog down an unlit London street. Oh, the thrill of it, the romanticism. Can't you feel your heart thumping in your chest? Can't you, Mr. Naruto? Oh, I suppose I can, yes. So if you don't mind. You touch stuff? I'll just stand here. And soak up the atmosphere for a little while longer. Wow. Please, don't mind me. Ha, she's obsessed. Where's Mr. Holmes? Oh, you just went inside though. Without knocking. Well, it looks like our detective friend isn't home at present, huh? Excuse me, is anybody home? Oh, do we have a visitor? Wait, who? Oh, her! Oh, hello! Darn it, the voice is right. Hello, is it a big new case for Mr. Holmes? Hello, do you not recognize her from last case? Give me the gun. Wait, aren't you? Oh, how rude of me. I'll go make some tea at once. I'm pretty sure it's the same girl. It is. Mrs. Sato, did you see the girl who was just here? Oh yes. Isn't it truly extraordinary? No, she's not listening. I think that the King of Bohemia came to this very room to ask Mr. Holmes to take on his case. Really? The King of where? What? King Wilhelm Gottscher Sigmund Einstein, of course. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank. Forget the adventures of Sherlock Holmes for a moment and look over there. The tea is brewed and have freshly baked cake as well. Ah, it's you. I knew it. Susato-san recognizes her too. You're from the trial. She made the gun. With the other girl. With the gun. Yeah, she made the machine. It's the girl who turned up at the end of Mr. McGilda's trial in the defendant's antechamber. I've never met a lawyer from the Far East before. Or you, having to get straight to work when you've only just arrived in London. Oh, yes, it was challenging. Well, try this tea. It's my special blend, you know? Oh, thank you. Is tea supposed to look that color? Is it like the color the tea has turned its colors? Like blue to red or something? Oh my, what a fragrant yet mellow flavor. Hurrah! It's a winner! I tried blending different leaves designed to alleviate fatigue, you see? You must be exhausted after your long voyage here, and you have another ticklish trial tomorrow. How do you know that? Oh, and you're to defend a Japanese man. I do wish you lots and lots of luck. Why do you know that? Did Mr. Holmes tell you about us by any chance? Oh, you know, Shirley. Hurley? Do you? Holmes? Sure, what? Mr. Holmes? To you, Shirley? Mr. Holmes was a fellow passenger on the boat that brought us to Great Britain, you see. Was he really? Well, I had no idea. Her voice is still high for me. I'm afraid... Is it Hurley? Whatever. Hurley's out on an errand again today, even though he's just returned from overseas. Wait a minute. You met this girl for the first time ever yesterday after the trial, and only briefly at that, but she knows about this already? How on earth does she know so much about us? Did she deduce all those things, do you think? And perhaps more to the point, why is she here in Mr. Holmes' suite? Oh, silly me, I haven't introduced myself, have I? Sister, I'm assuming? Or something like that. I just realized the end of her hair is in hearts. It's a great pleasure to meet you both. My name is Iris Wilson. Oh. So it's like... Watson? Kind of? I live here with Hurley. Ah, Iris, is it? What a lovely name. What? What's the matter? No, wait, this can't be. Did you say that your name is Wilson? Is it Watson? What's the matter with Susato-san? Why is she so flustered all of a sudden? Yes, that's right. And what are your names? Oh, I'm Yunosuke Naruto, a lawyer from Japan. Oh, sorry. I'm Mr. Naruto's judicial assistant, Susato Mikotoba. It's wonderful to meet you. Lovely. Susie and Nuno. Got it. What? Susie? Susie? And Runo? Oh, Ryunosuke. Runo. There's more to this girl than meets the eye. I have so many questions for her. I don't know where to start. Yes, and so do I. Is she taking the Watson? It was you that we ran into yesterday, wasn't it? At the Old Bailey. Yes, that's right. You were ever so helpful. Thank you so much. Oh no, not at all. I'm so sorry we couldn't have been more welcoming. Though at the time, we did have a rather large gun pointed at us. What was it? Flash just now. Like this? Ha. Ah, thinking back now, you left with Miss Lestrade in tow, didn't you? Oh yes, that awkward witness, Gina Lestrade. Oh, Jeannie? Yes. She's a professional pickpocket. So we found it. It was very naughty of her to pinch my invention like that. Are you referring to that trial-disrupting gun-like contraption? Exactly. So I followed her, you see, to get it back. Perhaps I should think about fitting a self-destruct mechanism in my inventions. This girl is dangerous. Anyway, I brought Jeannie back here after all that, so she could apologize to my trusty technician. Wait, who? Sorry, your technician? There's another person now? Really, of course, silly. Oh. He's a technician? Really? Yes, Sherlock Holmes. We live here together. I feel like it was Shirley somehow. If it was like the other language. I had no idea the great detective had such an interesting young daughter. Daughter? Not likely. What? Oh, just a person. I wouldn't call him Hurley if he was my father, would I? Well then, what is your relationship with Mr. Holmes? Your friend? Well, I expect you've found out my lodgings of any kind in London are very expensive. So the solution is to share the cost with a partner, a roommate. Your roommates? Hope you don't mind me asking, Iris, but how old are you? 10 at last this year. Oh, you're 10. Well, what of your mother and father? Well, they're dead. Oh no, they're not around. Oh, I see. I wonder what the story is there. Hey, don't wonder about that. Is it Watson? Oh yes, there's something I must ask you. Of course. Go ahead, Susie. I'm a very great fan of the adventures of Sherlock Holmes and... Oh, you have a copy of Rand's magazine! Yes, I read every issue. It's delivered all the way to Japan on ship. Oh, this is so exciting. My stories are being read on the other side of the world. My stories? You wrote it? That's right. Renee's always solving such amazing cases, you see, and he tells me all about them. They really are quite fascinating. It would be such a shame if I was the only one who ever heard them, don't you think? Goodness. Last night, he was telling me all about a new case he just solved on a steamship, traveling from a faraway land. So I was just in the middle of typing up the manuscript for the next issue before you came. Inventor and a writer. So you are the author. Yes, I'll let you in on a secret if you like. I'm going to call this latest adventure the Speckled Band. Speckled Band? That's certainly very familiar. Of course, I always change one or two details in the stories, here and there. This time, the idea of making a venomous snake be the cause of all the trouble, huh? That's pretty changing it, though. Oh, that was Mr. Holmes' first thought as well, actually. Yes, and of course, I know that a snake might not be a credible fit for the facts of the case exactly, but... It's a story! Some poetic license is justified to make it more thrilling, I think, don't you? So it's not exactly true, then. So, do you mean to say... Are the stories about Mr. Holmes that are published in Rand's magazine? All written by me? Yes, on my wonderful and very modern typewriter. But all the stories I've ever read, they're not true then, are written by a doctor of medicine. Dr. John H. Wilson. So it's Watson, right? Right? Susato-san's getting more and more worked up. Ah, yes, that's me. I mean, my name really is Wilson, or Watson. But what about the Doctor of Medicine part? That's not true too. I am a Doctor of Medicine. No, at 10 years old? At 10 years old. Well, that's quite incredible. But Dr. Wilson is an English gentleman. Ah, yes. I did alter the setting slightly for the story to be more compelling. Well, it's sounds a little strange, doesn't it? A great detective with a 10-year-old little girl in tow. That, I guess so. I suppose it does, yes. Horses at the sound. She looks like her whole world has just fallen apart. Everything you know is a lie. Deductions just now. About before. Yes, what's on your mind, Nino? Do tell me. How did you know that I was a lawyer? And we just arrived in London, I mean. I thought more about the case that you're trying to solve, actually. Yes, oh, and that we have a difficult trial tomorrow. Yeah, that part. How did you know all of that? Oh, that's what you mean. Please, tell us how you did it. Explain every detail. You probably got a fax or something. Or did they have faxes back then? Of course. I'd be delighted. Although, there's really no mystery. Now, let's begin. Huh? Oh wait, dude. Another farce is coming. Iris Wilson's proud to present her Logic and Reasoning Spectacular. Well, to be hers actually works. First of all, I already knew that you were a lawyer, Bruno. Isn't it written on his badge or something? In his band, I think. The band, right? Yep. The guy mentioned it. After all, I met you yesterday at the Old Bailey in the defendant's antechamber. But you also said that we only just arrived in London. How did you know that? Maybe the dress? Or what they're wearing? I'll take it too. I observed a passport and traveling ticket protruding from your breast pocket. Why didn't you put that back while you were in your case, huh? So I was reasonably confident that you must have only just arrived in the country. And on top of that, you accepted a case against that particular prosecutor, telling me you're unaware of London's court affairs. The Reaper of the Bailey? I walked right into that one, didn't I? The red ink stamp. Then I noticed a red ink stamp on the back of Susie's hand. You were given that when you visited the local prison to meet with a suspect, weren't you? Earlier today. Ah, is that they need a stamp? You use those stamps to keep a close eye on comings and goings, you see? I didn't realize. And a red stamp is only used for people visiting foreign inmates. Did not know that. So, that told me that even though you had only yesterday concluded the trial of Magnus McGilded, two of you had already had cause to visit a foreign inmate at a local prison. However, neither of you was wearing a particularly sad expression on your face, so I concluded that the prisoner was unlikely to be a friend or a relative. That led me to believe that you must have accepted a new case. She is good, better than Sherlock Holmes. I see. How could you have known that the trial is tomorrow? Well, having barely been home a few hours yesterday, Berri solved yet another case. It obviously amused him. He told me that he caught a Japanese man who was bawling and trembling. A Japanese man? Well, certainly that must have been Mr. Natsume. Now, Bruno has that fancy Japanese sword. And I think your outfit is called a kimono, isn't it, Susie? Or is it more like a hakama? But okay. I don't know. But anyway, it was clear to me that you both come from Japan yourselves. So I put two and two together and decided you must be defending the Japanese man Hurley caught. And there was only one conclusion those facts could lead me to. You both came here to ask Hurley about the case. She is the best, the better one. There's a note on the mantelpiece that says the man's trial will be tomorrow. Hurley's always stabbing his nose with a knife, you know. Oh, that one on the back? He is silly. And that's all there is to it, really. Thank you for listening. I'm Iris Wilson, and that was one of my great deductions. She is better than the other guy. She should be a fan of her instead, Susato, instead of Sherlock Holmes. Well, was it a winner? Were my deductions correct? They were spot on. That was amazing, Iris. Truly a great deduction. You even managed a certain something of Mr. Holmes' delivery. Oh, well, I was just copying Hurley's style for that. This is really very good news. You could tell us all about the case involving the Japanese man. You will, won't you, Iris? Please? Oh. So yesterday, Mr. Holmes apprehended a Japanese man, you were saying? Yes. Friday had just arrived in London after his sea voyage, but the police were waiting for him at the railway station to take him directly to the crime scene. What, really? Ah, the great detective is a popular man, it seems. Apparently a woman was stabbed on a quiet street somewhere in town. There were witnesses who had seen a short, shifty-looking, stooped man running away from the scene. A short, shifty-looking, stooped man. Mr. Natsume, beyond any doubt. Suseki-san said that he didn't see anyone else on the street at all. I hear a dog? Somewhere? But it seems there are witnesses after all. Berri uses great detective powers to determine the man's address. How did you do that? There's a lodging room very nearby. He went directly there with the police, and what did they find? A short, shifty-looking stooped man shivering in fear. Oh. Ah, Mr. Holmes' great deduction certainly hit the mark that time. Of course it did. He's a great detective. Dude, you need to look at reality. Still, that means this incident occurred only 2 days ago. Surely tomorrow is too soon for the trial, isn't it? Definitely. We have no time to investigate properly. Berri says that London is rife with crime. Oh. Scotland Yard is doing its best, but they can't stay on top of it, apparently. Oh dear. I hadn't realized the situation was so dire. That's why they can't afford to spend too much time investigating cases and trying the criminals in court. Staff and money are both short. Crimes are usually pinned on the first suspicious person. Wow, that's terrible. It's terrible! It's not the same as the Japan one, technically, though. I know. It was like, fast, fast, fast. I suppose it's the harsh reality of the workings of the world's greatest justice system. Is that really great, though? If that's the case. I suppose it is, but in that case, I don't hold out much hope for Suseki-san. So is he coming or not? Thank you for answering so many of our questions, Iris. This has been very informative. Oh, you're most welcome. I've had so much fun. You happen to know where Mr. Holmes is at the moment? As you guessed, we'd like to ask him some questions about this case as well. Well, I expect Hurley's still investigating the scene. The case involving Mr. Natsume, you mean? Yes, Mr. Natsume? Hurley said he was going to the man's lodgings. If you leave now, you'll probably catch him there. Darn it, I have to go to another place. Iris, you know where those lodgings are? Well, I imagine the police are still investigating the scene of the crime themselves, aren't they? Did you happen to come across a detective by the name of Gregson when you were there? Yes, we know Inspector Gregson. Ah, goody. In that case, just ask him, right? Give Grexy this from me, would you? If you do that, I'm sure he'll tell you what you want to know. What is this? A 5-shilling piece and postcard, it seems. Well, postcard. It reads, "Tell the gentleman in black whatever he wants to know. I trust that won't be a problem." Oh, what? Gosh, this will make the inspector help us, will it? I don't know, man. Well, thank you, Iris. We'll give it a try. Good luck, Ben. I'm going to return to writing my manuscript, The Speckled Band. I'll be making more special blends of tea, so come back again soon. We'd be delighted. Thank you so much, Iris. Oh. Well, Mr. Naruto, it's back to the scene of the crime. This part takes forever. So, somewhat dubious that they would exert any influence over the men of Scotland Yard at all. We headed back to the scene with Iris' curious note and one of the world's heaviest silver coins in hand. Oh, is that... Oh, it's the end? Oh, good, because it took forever. Oh, that was tiring. It was fun, but tiring. I like presenting evidence more than investigating, though. But that's just me. No, wait, save it here. Oof. Anyway, I'll continue this next week. Anyone who's watching this, thanks for watching. Hope you join in for next time, around the same time next week. See you all. Time to games. Some other game. Play Lost Ark. See y'all. Bye-bye. I'm on Twitch and YouTube and everything else written on Twitter too, if you're interested. Thank you. Bye-bye.